G'day guys, welcome to another What's for Dinner episode. So I haven't done one of these for a little while because we have been enjoying the Kmart pie maker and I've been making so much stuff in the pie maker. But I kept a couple of recipes that we've been doing throughout that period that I wanted to share with you. The first one I'm so excited to share is a slow cooker pulled pork recipe. Now, I must admit, me and the slow cooker do not go well together. Everything I seem to cook in there just comes out slop, like we've actually called it the slop pot. But this didn't. Dave did an awesome job. Let's get into it. So the first one is Mexican pulled pork. So for this, we're going to use a pork shoulder. It's about 1.1 kilos. And what he's going to do is going to slice it so the seasoning can penetrate into the meat. So not cutting it the whole way through, just some slashes into it. Then he's chopped up one onion and as well as the seasoning, which has oregano, smoked paprika, cumin, as well as slicing up one onion, and then he's putting that all into the slow cooker pot and just massaging the meat, trying to get in as much of the seasoning as he can into the pork, and then he's going to shake it off so that all the onion's on the bottom. So he gave it a really, really good massage, and this is really important to get that flavours throughout. Otherwise the flavouring's just going to sit on the bottom. So this is definitely an area he spent a bit of time doing.
Break it down to a second, a millionth of a dream. Go, go, go for the limit with the power of believe. Just soak it up like...
And then once he'd done that, he poured in a cup of the beef stock right over the top. And then so all of the onion and the 3 garlic cloves are definitely down the bottom now. He put it on slow cook for 8 hours, but he started checking it from 6 hours onwards until it was cooked and just falling apart. Then once the pork was done, he used some corn chips, sour cream, avocado, a red onion, tomato and coriander. And what he did was he sliced them into small pieces and shredded the pork. On a plate he put the corn chips, the pork, some cheese, and then put that under the grill for 2 to 3 minutes. And then he took it out and he topped it with the tomato, the avocado, the coriander and a large dollop of sour cream, and this was just delicious. This is so yummy, so good, and it's a great dish to have when you've got people over. My family came and we had this in the centre. We did about 3 plates of it and everyone helped themselves. It's a really nice dish. Definitely recommend this, and this was not a slow cooker fail. This was a real win in the slow cooker. The next meal I want to share, which is super simple, is we have beans, pumpkin and chicken Kiev. We love our chicken Kiev, so we do have this regularly, but this time we're having pumpkin as the mash instead of sweet potato. So the next dish we're having is vegetarian chow mein. I'll link the recipe in the description box below. These are all the ingredients we needed. So first off, starting off with separating the hoki noodles. So just following the packet for this, putting them into a jug, separating them and pouring in boiling water, and then making sure they're completely separated. Next, Dave created the sauce using honey, sesame oil, soy sauce and black bean sauce. Personally, I think there was too much soy sauce in it. The sauce wanted 1/3 of a cup of black bean sauce as well as soy sauce, and personally I think 1/3 of a cup of soy sauce was just too much. It was just too salty. So next time we do a little bit less of that, and then it had 2 teaspoons of sesame oil as well as honey. Next, Dave chopped up the veggies, so it had 2 onions, 2 celery sticks and some broccolini. I just ended up buying the plain tofu, so we just used this firm tofu, although in the recipe it talked about marinated tofu, but we didn't worry about that. I really found there was enough flavour with the sauce already, so I'm glad I didn't get the marinated tofu, but that's something I could try next time. Then over to the stove in our wok, putting in some oil down the bottom before adding in the onions first off. Once the oil had reached a good heat, Dave added in all the onions and stir fried that for 1 minute. After a minute, then he added in the broccolini, the celery, and the garlic, and then stir fried that for 3 minutes. And just mixing it regularly throughout. Then he took all that out of the wok, added in a little bit more oil, put the tofu in, and he heated the tofu until it was cooked completely through. He just kept checking it. Then he returned the vegetables back to the wok, as well as putting in the sauce and mixing that all together, and the hoki noodles. Once it was all reheated, he just served it into bowls, and then he topped them with some sesame seeds on top. I bought these chicken schnitzels because they were on special, and they were really nice. It had a really good coating. It was a really lovely herb coating, and we had it with mayo, carrot, as well as some spinach on multigrain wraps. The next dish we had was stir fry. This time though, Dave decided to use kangaroo as the meat instead of beef. So he just made his standard sauce that he always does, which is 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce, half a tablespoon of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of water, and 2 teaspoons of crushed garlic, as well as 1 teaspoon of ginger. He likes to make the sauce earlier in the day. So then over on the stove, he heated up the oil, just using some peanut oil, and put in the sliced kangaroo. Stir fried that for a couple of minutes until it was cooked through. He removed that from the heat once that was cooked, just put into a bowl at the side before adding in the frozen veggies. Once the frozen veggies were no longer frozen, he drained off that water and put back in the beef, as well as the sauce, mixed it around for a minute, and then it was good to go. And then we had hoki noodles with it again. So just like I said before, he just prepared that exactly the same, put it into bowls and ate it. It was delicious. I really do like this meal because it's such a great way to just get veggies into your diet. Alrighty guys, so our favourite for the week, for Dave and I, it would have been the Mexican pulled pork. We both really enjoyed that. And for our daughter, she loves a chicken Kiev. Thanks heaps for watching guys. Bye.